Alright, alright. What's really going on? Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. Today, going to be taking a look at Litecoin, LTC against USDT. Going to be taking a look at some of these key technical aspects of price action moving forward. Going to be assessing some of the pivotal areas of support and resistance I believe we're going to be interacting with in the very near future here. Let me know in the comments down below. Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Do you trade? Do you hold? Or do you let the price action unfold? What are you doing with your bag if you have one? Are you bullish? Do you think we found support? We're likely to rally back upward, interact with the multi-$100 range, $300, $400 per Litecoin that we came from in the not so distant past? Or are we bearish? We still have more downside ahead of us. Support has yet to be found, and we're likely to see continued downside or accumulation. Let me know your thoughts on the direction of price action down in the comment section down below. Now jumping right into it to kind of recap price action that has kind of interacted with my ascending trend line from the 21st of October of 2020. We have price action rallying upward toward kind of horizontal support and resistance levels, but consolidating downward toward my ascending trend line as support. We have price action experiencing sort of like tens of days of sideways and downward accumulation toward that ascending trend line as support up until we get to this pivotal range above $116 all the way up to that swing high of $414. We have this kind of very crazy range of sideways that price action has rallied kind of up and down to and from. We have interaction with this very pivotal $176 level that we've interacted with both as support and resistance. We have a rejection off of it on the kind of like 10th of January here, sending price action down to that $116 level, bouncing, rallying kind of sideways toward that ascending trend line, ultimately to find support, bullish enough to break that $177 resistance, interact with some swing highs at the kind of like $240 level there. We came back down to find support at 177, interacting with that ascending trend line as well, reaching down to kind of these lower ranges, but ultimately finding support at that 177 kind of dollar level there, interacting with it again at the 25th of March after breaking kind of the ascending trend line for what appears to be relatively the kind of first time we had kind of like entire daily candles close below it. We did have a few kind of back at the sort of like beginning of December of 2020. We had a couple daily candles close below that ascending trend line, but we had more significant kind of bearish price action at the kind of 21st of March of 2021. We did seem bullish enough to rally back up toward it, interact with it as resistance briefly, find it as support above it again, just to fall down below it and see resistance down below it again, suggesting that the uptrend might be exhausting and, perhaps a change in momentum could be approaching. We were printing higher lows and higher highs, and so we were still looking quite bullish, although from this, very aggressive kind of upside in a relatively short amount of time, some downside or sideways might be necessary for the trend to kind of continue in the long term. And so momentum switched very abruptly. We broke that ascending trend line as support, confirmed it as resistance, I believe, on the kind of 13th and 14th of May. Continued to kind of come downward, back testing resistance, falling through support, coming all the way back down to this $177 level from that kind of swing high of like 415. We have price action looking to find its way, trying to find support along it, but ultimately failing with support from these rejections off of 206 and price action kind of reaching so far past it. I do believe that was a suggestion of kind of weak support at this level for the current price action, and resistance I believe was confirmed on the 14th of June, suggesting price action is likely to kind of make its way downward, and my kind of next target that we could bounce from is this $116 level, where we seem to be attempting to find support near. Although price action will have to kind of play out moving forward with this this kind of wick on the sort of 22nd of June, a few days ago, down to that $106 level is going to be a tad short-term bearish in my opinion, and we could have some daily candle bodies closing near that $116 level before we can kind of confirm it as significant support. The $100 level is going to be a psychological round kind of level that I believe we could be very much bearish to interact with, and is going to be very pivotal moving forward. Price action above that $116 level is going to be more short-term bullish in my opinion. But when we consider EngineeringRobo, along with the Fibonacci, Fettuccine, Fibba Illuminati geometry lines of symmetry, we can see a new perspective come into play. We have the 0.236 Fibonacci line supporting my $116 level as a potential significant support. So we very much could bottom out and bounce here, although failure to hold that level will bring us likely toward 100 again, and my kind of bearish target past that is the $80 level, if we are bearish enough to fail to hold that $115 level. The 0.382 Fibonacci line at $172 is going to be significant resistance near my $177 resistance level. In addition to that 200 daily moving average, wherever it might be above price action, is going to be a very bearish sell indicator, sell suggester. There's going to be a lot of sell pressure present under that range, and we will have to build up a lot of momentum to kind of break above it and then likely confirm it down as support once we kind of find our way at those levels again. A lot of resistance moving forward, although we seem to be trapped in a very significant range between this kind of $116 to $177 level. Could very much be the zone that we trade in kind of moving forward before we see these kind of like swing highs at the $400 range. Again, ultimately I can be more long-term bullish. The closer we can get back up to 177, I can be more short-term bullish. The more support we find at 116, although price action in a very kind of pivotal state, and we'll have to see kind of how this unfolds. Sell for against USDT, price action below the 200 daily moving average. But what we consider Litecoin against Bitcoin, we can see a new perspective come into play. Price action looking to find support as well. Potential support around 37.28 Satoshi is going to be a critical level that price action could very much bounce from. Significant resistance moving forward is going to be 41.32 Satoshi in addition to 45.04 Satoshi. I believe those are levels we're going to have to kind of break and then confirm as support moving forward. There's going to be a larger range of resistance above 51.10 Satoshi and under 56.24 Satoshi, but we do have price action above those ranges interacting with a level, the 6698 Satoshi level that we got rejected from on the kind of 19th of May there. What we consider EngineeringRobo alongside the Fibba Illuminati Fettuccine lines of geometry, we can see a new perspective coming into play. Price action below that 200 daily moving average against the price of Bitcoin, not looking too bullish in the short term, along with that sell for. So some more downside, some more sideways could very much play out. Daily candles closing, opening and closing above 37.29. I can be more short term bullish. Although if we find price action below that, we could very much enter some kind of lower ranges that we were interacting with at the kind of like 17th of March to like kind of 4th of April there. So a lot of resistance moving forward, like I was saying, with my 41.33 level all the way to that 45.09 level, but between there we have the 0.786 Fibonacci line in addition to the 200 daily moving average. Going to be significant sell pressure and resistance at that range, I do believe. And so even once we find our way above 45.10 Satoshi and we can confirm that as support, we do have significant range between that 0.618 Fibonacci line, 50.96 Satoshi, all the way up to that 0.5 Fibonacci line, 56.64 Satoshi is supporting that kind of significant zone of resistance that we will likely need to kind of plow through and then confirm as support. So lots of pivotal factors at price action at the moment. Some very high technical sell pressure present, but some very high fundamental buy pressure I believe is still present as well, perhaps keeping price action still bullish in these very crazy FUD-filled moments in crypto here. But when we consider Bitcoin against USDT, we can see a new perspective coming into play. We have price action finding its way above 32K again. So we have an attempt to kind of bounce at that level. Another attempt at support I believe is going to be found at this range. If we do get slapped off of that 0.5 Fibonacci line, which we got rejected from kind of a couple days ago, the 25th of June, the 0.5 Fibonacci line is going to be very significant moving forward. Even once we find support at that range, we're going to have even more sell pressure at the 0.618 Fibonacci line. And so price action at a very kind of pivotal moment at this kind of current price level. We do appear to be finding support and another attempt to kind of solidify 32K as a bottom. Although if the 0.5 Fibonacci line slaps us back down, we could very much break that level and head to my kind of like short-term bearish target, the 0.382 Fibonacci line at 27K. Failure to hold that range will likely bring us all the way down to a more fearful target of the 0.236 level at 18,195. So fearful, I mean, because perhaps new investors, new buyers might be quite shook from that quite jarring, price dip from the all-time highs that they might have been recently investing in. Although I do believe that would be the most kind of long-term bullish thing that could happen kind of for Bitcoin. So lots going on at the moment. Let me know your thoughts, comments down below. What do you think price action is likely to play out here? Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Are you accumulating in these lows? Have you sold your whole bag? Do you trade? Do you hold? What are you doing with your bag if you have one? We got the sell for against the price of Bitcoin. Price action below the 200 daily moving average. Lots of technical sell factors present here. Interaction with resistance, but fundamental buy pressure I believe is still present, and demand for Bitcoin is still high. So I can still be bullish long term as long as we find ourselves above 18K. Thank you for tuning in. Try Engineering Robo free with the link in the description. Subscribe here on YouTube. Check out all the other social media down below. And tune in for the next one.